Welcome all aboard. It's August the 8th, and it's the Power Hour. And here's my co-host, Nicole. I'm
Hi
Dan,
there.
your host. Hi, everybody. And I hope everybody got the invitations this week. I think I got it sent out correctly this time. So we always love to hear your comments. And you can start by letting me know in the chat that you are there today. That'll let us know who we're talking with. There's Jose. He's
All
here
right.
tonight.
Hi,
Yay,
Jose.
Jose. Good to have you here. And for those of you that are watching on the recording, welcome aboard. I know that having the power hour is good for everybody. And I hope that you gain from some wisdom and some peace and some joy and happiness and positivity there as well.
Hi, Garrett.
Garrett's watching on YouTube tonight. So we're actually getting everything working the way it's supposed to tonight. That is awesome news. Thank you very much for posting in there. And so tonight we're going to have a couple of little things to share with you. Sometimes it's like, what are we going to talk about tonight, right? And most of the time it's like, I don't know, we'll just figure it out, right? But I wanted to start with a story because I love stories, as most of my friends know. And I had many years ago now, I was offered to present at a health resort in Palm Desert. And so I talked about subtle energy work and how the environment that we live in messes us all up, and the products that we use, whispers, can help calm all that down for you and help you to think on a more positive, calm, centered way. And so I gave my presentation, and after the presentation, a young lady comes up to me and she starts telling me a story about a horrific accident she was in. And as she's describing this story, she's got tears pouring down her face, right? And old empathetic Dan is like, "Oh my God, you poor thing, that is awful." And she goes, "Oh yeah, it's been, it's just ruined my life, and oh God, I'm just the pain and the suffering, and again, it's just I said, "Oh, you poor thing, when did this happen to you?" She said, 4 years ago. 4 years ago. And we can all hear that story and think, oh, poor thing, right? But what do we hold on to that keep us in a prison? What kind of thought process have we developed in ourselves that says, no, I can never succeed like that person because I have this and I did that, and all that storytelling crap that we've done to ourselves through the years, right? So I wanted to share that story with you because I want you to understand what the whisper work is all about. It's about letting go of that energy of those traumas that we've had. We've all had things happen in our lives that are hurts, right? And they hurt our heart, and they hurt our emotions, and sometimes they even hurt our bodies, right? And if we don't clear the energy of those things, we can process all day long till the cows come home, and it's not going to do a whole lot to let go of the energy of it. It's a whole different level of healing. And really, it's the most important part of healing, because we can say to ourselves, well, I forgive myself for that. That's okay. But then next week that comes up again and you're still beating yourself up over it, right? We've all done that. And I can tell you from myself personally, the beatings I used to give myself were just horrific. And I was a firm believer in positive thinking. And yet every time something bad happened in my life, I'd have to drink or get out of my head somehow or another, or that mind would race so much that I'd have to do something to stop it, right? And nothing worked until I learned about the subtle energy work that I've been doing for a lot of years now, right? So I just want to share that for you all, and I want to share something that was sent to me that's really kind of cute. I hope you'll all enjoy it. Here it comes. There we go. If y'all can see that, let me know in the box there. That would be helpful. And what you're seeing is a dog with a vest of whispers attached to the vest there. And this dog absolutely loves laying under these whispers.
That's so cute.
Isn't that cute?
That is so
This dog
cute.
belongs to the daughter of my longest time client, over 20, almost 30 years now, I think, maybe more, I'm not sure. But her animals have gotten whisper treatments for years, and this dog just absolutely loves it. So I haven't seen any comments yet in there, but I'm hoping you're all seeing that. If you do see it, please let me know. All right, well, we'll get there. So
I
this
can
is,
see it, so I'm sure
you
that
can see it, so you're sure
the
they can,
audience
right?
can. Yeah.
All right. So that's a picture I thought you'd all find very cute.
It's
One of the
cute.
reasons I wanted you to see it is that, one of the most amazing things to me through all the years I've been doing this work is that I keep telling people how important it is to wear the whispers, and hardly anybody does. They'll wear them for a while, and then they'll take them off, and they'll forget, and then they know, oh gosh, oh yeah, I got to put it back on. There's Nicole wearing hers. I love that purple, by the way.
Yeah, it's great.
Isn't it?
I do
Yeah.
put it inside my bra because
Yes.
that's the easiest place to hang on to it.
That's
Hi
one of the
there,
reasons they're
Melly.
cupped in the back like they are.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, exactly. Because the old products we used to use looked like roller skate wheels, right? And if women put them in their bras, they would stick out like these great big donuts in your bra. Like you need more in there, right? But
Thanks,
with
Bob.
these are nice and thin, and they're cupped so that they're very comfortable when you wear them. So we did that for
Contouring, I
you.
think, is the name.
Huh?
Contouring.
Contouring. Oh, very nice. Hi, Melly. Glad to see you here. Yes.
All right.
So, again, if you have whispers, I want to encourage you to wear them, please. You'll be amazed that what happens quite often is you'll wear them, and in the beginning, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling all this energy moving around, and oh my gosh, and your thinking starts being a little different, and things seem to be a little calmer inside, and you're like, oh wow, these are amazing. And then a week or two goes by, and you're not feeling that same kind of feeling anymore, right? So you just put it off and you forget about it. But it doesn't, I got to get me one. Yes, absolutely. Contact your grandfather. He knows a guy that can help you with that. All right.
Can't believe you don't have one already.
I know, right? What is that?
How did that happen?
That fixed. So that's what, and in fact, that happened to me in the very beginning when I first started working with these things. Was I put them on and it was like, oh my God, because I was just a ball of energy, right? It was just a mess. And hey, Kimberlyn, glad to see you here.
Yay.
Yay. We were just talking, Kimberlyn, about wearing the whispers, and I hope you're wearing yours. But when I first started, I would put these on and be like, oh my God. And I'd feel so much more centered and so much more relaxed. And I could get through the course of a day and stay focused on what I was trying to accomplish, right? Which was impossible for me before that because my mind would just take me to 10,000 different directions in a heartbeat. So I'd wear them and I'd start feeling better. And then I'd put them in the drawer and I'd forget one day and then I'd forget 2 days. And then it would be a couple of months and I'd be a total wreck again. And my dear friend George would look at me and says, you're not wearing your products, are you? And I go, nah. So I'd go home, put them back on. And it was like, oh yeah, wow, that really does work, right? So for me, I've been wearing these things extremely consistently for a lot of years now, right? And I can tell you, I promise you that if you put these on, you will be amazed. In 6 months, if you'll just commit to wearing them for 6 months, I promise you your life will never be the same again. It'll be so much easier to do. In fact, I was going to play the intro for my YouTube channel, and I didn't have the edited copy in my file here, so I'll have to pull it down for next week. But at the end of it, I said, look, if you like what I'm talking about here, terrific. And if it doesn't make sense to you, find whatever works for you to quiet your mind, because until you do, life is just too hard. And that's the way I ended the video, right? So, and it's true. It's just amazing how much easier it is to accomplish the things in your life that you want to accomplish. And, you know, now I have a lot more years behind me than I have ahead of me, right? So I can tell you firsthand that this journey does go by really fast. My dad used to always say, the older you get, the faster life goes by. And being a smart ass, I'd say, oh, yeah, for you, it must be whizzing by, right? And he'd go, yeah, well, you'll see, right? And he was
For you, it must be whizzing by, huh, Pop?
Oh, God, yeah. Amazing. So, so the point is, whether it goes by really slow or it goes by really fast, why not get the most out of it?
Yeah.
I can remember I was mentioning about always believing in positivity and yet not experiencing it within myself. So I can think all day long that positivity is really great, but if I don't really own it, it doesn't really happen. And I can tell you that the journey I have gone through these years, the reason I've done this work for so many years, despite the fact that I sucked at marketing and nobody got to know about how wonderful these things are and the work that they do for people, I've never given up because I know the magic that happens. And, you know, what I want to invite all of my family members that haven't gotten a balancing yet is to get over to Grandpa's house and let him give you a balancing so you really get an understanding of how amazing the work really is.
Especially Kimberlyn.
Yes, absolutely.
Because she's the furthest.
Well, we could go out and see her too, I suppose, right? Yes, please. So I have a question for those of you that are watching on our show today. And I would like to know of all of you that are watching, how many of you, by saying yes, or let's see, how do I say this? Oh, if your self-esteem is as high as you would like it to be, say yes in the chat. And if it's not, say no.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain most of us will say no, because I know in my case, you know, there's always room for improvement, right? So,
well, of course.
Yeah.
But if you feel really good inside, it's, you know, right? You can say yes. I feel really good. Can I get a repeat?
Oh, there's Kimberlyn.
Huh?
Can I get a repeat?
What does that mean, Jose?
I think he's asking for the question
Another
again.
balancing?
Oh, maybe. The question.
Question. The question is your self-esteem where you'd like it to be? Yes. Or no, it needs some improvement? No.
Okay, Melly said no. Kimberlyn said no. Kimberlyn said room for improvement.
Room for improvement.
Like I said.
Hell no.
Hell no. I guess that's a pretty definitive
and I
no.
know that definitely needs improvement. And I know Jose. Jose is my grandson. I love him very, very much. And I know the fine young man that he is. And he reminds me so much of myself at his age that people could tell me I was a good person and I couldn't believe it. They just don't know me like I know me, right? So, Jose, I definitely want to get you on the table. Yeah, and let go of some of that energy, all right? So that's what the work is all about. And I don't want to make it just a commercial on Whispers, but I can tell you that if you don't have the Whisper products, take a look at our Whisper website. Let me put it up here. Do we have it on our list here? No. Add a ballot. Let me put something in here real quick.
Well, I think I know the answer, Pop, but how's your self-confidence, or what was the self-esteem?
How's my self-esteem? I would give it a good 8.5, maybe 9.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like who Dan is.
Nice.
You know? In fact, let me do that. That's a really good question that you asked me, and let me give you a little story that I tell people all the time. Because I love stories, right?
Did you see what Melly said? Aurora fell asleep to our voices. That's your great granddaughter.
How nice. So you can always play this back to her when she's giving you a fit and have her go to sleep for you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. We're so entertaining.
So one of the things that I share with people is my view of myself, because most of us think that if we think well of ourselves, we're being vain and egotistical, right? So I'm going to give you the story of who Dan is, how I see myself. And at the end of this, I would really like your feedback. Do you think it sounds egotistical? Do you think it sounds accurate? Because getting to know ourselves, I think I've mentioned to you in my faith, they talk about self-realization, God realization, that you can't realize God until you realize yourself. And if you think you're a big pile of dung on the side of the road, you don't understand who you are. And you need to come see me, all right? Because I'll help you to get there. But here's the way I see Dan. I like Dan. He's a really nice guy. He walks in almost any room he walks into, he lights up. And he can just fill a room with energy. He makes a lot of mistakes, but today that's okay with him. He knows that that's being human, right? That's the perfection that God created. Was he gave us this earth, this life that we're living as a school for us to remember who we are and who he is, because we forgot. So we get on this plane and we're innocent, we're born, we have no sin, we have no fear, we have none of that stuff. And then life happens to us and we start developing guilt and shame and blame and all that stuff that we heap on ourselves forever. And so to finish where I was going with that story about me is I'm okay with making mistakes today. And I know that I'm an awesome friend. And I tell people all the time that if I make a commitment to be your friend, that's for life. And whether you choose to walk into that or not, that's up to you, right? But I will always be there for you. You need anything, you just call me. And if I can help you, I will. All right. But the most important way that I can help anybody is to help them discover themselves. And that's what gives me the greatest joy in life. So, yeah, I really like Dan, and I'm okay with that today. And so let me ask you, what do you guys think? Is that egotistical, or does that sound like the way you ought to be able to describe yourself?
Well, in my opinion, while we're waiting for feedback, no, I don't feel like it's egotistical at all. And I don't feel like you said, like, I'm the most perfect person I know or anything like that. It was, I'm perfectly imperfect, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, and I feel the same way, you know, we've gone through a lot of trials in life and, you know, I've come to realize that if I hadn't gone through all of those trials and all of those, you know, hard times and struggles or whatnot, mostly self-imposed, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Then I wouldn't be where I am today, you know?
Right.
And getting to the other side, we can walk through that and feel confident that, you know, hey, I had to go through some stuff, but, you know, I'm okay today.
Yeah.
And I love the feedback. Garrett asked, what does drop the rock mean? Maybe we can get to that in a few.
Drop the rock?
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. It's on YouTube, I guess. I wonder why I don't see that.
You didn't see the
comment? I see it. There it is. Yeah. What does drop the rock means? It's kind of like let go of the wood. Or drop. What's that? What was that thing? Oh, get off the cross. We need the wood.
Let it go.
Let it go, right?
Yeah, let it go. It doesn't belong today.
Nobody punishes us like we do, right? And, you know, I love joking about being really old now because I really am, and that's quite okay. But what I hope all of you hear is that you don't have to wait until you get old to like yourself. In fact, the sooner you start doing that, the easier your whole life is going to be, the more joyous your life is going to be. I promise you that everybody that has made a chat on our chat board here today would tell you that I live a joyous life. I have a lot of fun. I smile a lot, and I love telling jokes, and I love making people smile. And that's what makes my days awesome. And they really are awesome. You know, I know I've told this before, but you know, one of my favorite things to do is to ask people how their day is going. And quite often you'll get people who go, "Oh, I'm having a horrible day." And I'll just go, "Really? The whole day?" Right? Because we have to learn to put them into bite-sized chunks, right? The whole day isn't awful. You might have some moments in the day that kind of suck, but if it goes on longer, that's just an indication for you that you're either spending all your time in the past or all your time in the future, neither which is real, but where you want to be is in the present. Because in the present, what's wrong this very moment for any of you? Is there anything wrong this very instant? I doubt it. So learning to stay in the present is where the magic happens. It's the gift from God.
Well, Garrett and I spent some time on this researching how long is a moment, and hopefully he can respond, because I forgot. I think it's 90 seconds is a moment, but he'll let you know. We spent some time, and I forgot.
Dissecting the present, huh?
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the comments.
Oh my God. Can I post this? Yes, I can. Look at this. This is from Jose. Not egotistical. You worked hard to become who you are today, are a great soul, and I've been blessed to have your advice through my 28 years. Boy, have I got him cold, huh? Jose is a wonderful man. And as soon as he knows it, there's going to be amazing things happening. And this is from Ellie. No, you described yourself perfectly. So how many of you would describe yourself the same way I did? If you would, put yes in the box. And if you haven't got there yet, put no. Just to kind of help show us where we're at, okay? And
well, I think in the moment, I'll say mine, because
yes.
I can. Yeah, Kimmy says I like Dan too.
Yeah, isn't that sweet?
Your family really loves you.
I know, right? Wow, am I a fortunate man or what? You know, I am so blessed.
I think if we're looking in the moment, you know, like, I think I give myself an 8 out of a 10, right? Like, there's always room for improvement, and that's not shabby for me. No. You know, because I spent a lot of my life like not liking this, not liking that, not liking, you know, whatever.
So you could relate to the negative view that you had of yourself that I had of myself, right?
Oh yeah.
Not exactly the same, but that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I didn't have the childhood. Well, you described it as what? Who was that you related yourself to as a kid? Huh? Oh gosh, Alfred E. Newman or something.
Alfred E. Newman, yes. The math. I got to find a picture of that and put it on our next show. Right?
I didn't have that, but you know, when you have curly hair, you want straight hair. When you have straight hair, you want curly hair. You know.
Yes.
And it was always just trying to attain something that I wasn't. You know, and
sure.
And today I just embrace who I am, and I've done a lot of work too. Yes. Internal and external, but you know, it's just been, you know, what in the moment, you know, if I look around, there's nothing going on in this moment. I want to kind of elaborate on what you meant by, you know, we have no problems in the moment. If we look at this moment, you know, I'm looking around the room, I can feel air conditioner on me, you know, it's quiet in the room, you know, there's absolutely nothing happen while you're watching this thing. Yes. You know, yeah. You may have problems in your life, but they didn't happen in this moment.
Right. Well, and what happened a moment ago is gone.
Right.
You can't bring it back. You can't change it. You can't edit it. You can't do anything with it. It's gone. Right. and the next moment isn't here yet. But most of us spend all our time in those other two areas, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and here's the other thing, that negative judgment, right, that we have on ourselves. We're telling God that he didn't know what he was doing when he made us. God made it. I believe in God, and I believe that God made everything perfect, because that's what God is. God is love. Love is perfect. We are the ones that put that negative cast on things, right? Like I've got too big a chest, I've got too big a stomach, I've got, bald head, I got whatever those things are that we could look at and choose to paint as negative. But the reality is I am made exactly the way God wants me to be, or I'd be some other way. So that's acceptance, right? And we talk about acceptance in various avenues that we travel in our journeys on, right? And yet most of us don't accept ourselves. And if we don't accept ourselves, how do we think we're going to accept anyone or anything else? How can we have joy in our life if we're constantly criticizing ourselves and criticizing the way somebody parked and the way somebody driving slow, somebody didn't do this, somebody didn't do that? How can we ever have joy that way? So the more we can cut down on that stuff and just stay in the moment where everything's perfect, then we can gently row that boat down the stream, rather than hitting all the rocks and crashing on the shore and capsizing and doing all that crazy stuff, right?
Being all splashed on and
yeah, right. So it's and that's the journey that I went on. I started it before your mom divorced me, right? In fact, when she did the right thing and left me, that was the right thing for her to do. And for quite a while afterwards, I took all the blame. It was all my fault because I was such a piece of garbage, right? And after a while, I got to see that in actuality, I had been requesting change in our life. And she wasn't real comfortable with change. She kind of liked things the way it was. And I was just really unhappy, and I knew I needed to make changes. So that journey started then, even before then. And thank God, I even took her to dinner and thanked her once for divorcing me, because if she hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have grown as early as I did. I would have probably been a wreck much longer. But it was the impetus to getting me to recognize and do all the things I've had to do to get to where I am today. Am I perfect? God, no. Do I want to get in a better position yet? Absolutely. My goal is to be a better human being every single day. Every single day. And I come up short every single day. But that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be, right?
Practice.
Yes. I can, and let's see what Melly says here.
Yeah.
This looks like a good one.
So everybody said no.
You want to read it?
Meaning, like, no. So everybody said no, meaning they aren't, where they want to be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right. Melly says, I can say great things about myself that pertains to helping others, like being a good mom, a good friend. But when it comes to saying kind things about myself as a person, it's hard for me to do. I just don't believe it. Oh.
Yeah. Right. Now, and your mom gave a sigh there, but the reality is that's the way most of us feel. It's that Walt Whitman saying that I use all the time on this broadcast, right? That the huddled masses live in quiet desperation. Most of us live exactly in that place. I can feel good that I did the dishes, or I, cleaned up the house, or I steered my child in the right direction, or whatever. But when it comes, like you said, when it comes to saying kind things about yourself, it's hard to do. Why? What taught us that? Or who taught us that? Well, where did we get that we have to be punishing towards ourselves?
Hopefully they don't say their mom.
Well, and and let's face it, as parents, we all make mistakes, right? We all do things that we look back on and go, ooh, wish I hadn't done that. I wish I hadn't said that, right? Maybe in a moment of frustration, we say something, and later on we're going, ooh, man. And if we've grown enough, we'll go back and say, hey, I'm really sorry. I was just in a bad place. I didn't really mean that about you, or whatever. But that's also, and Kimberlyn says society. Yes, that can definitely be part of it. Social media can be part of it.
Oh, yeah.
You look at all the advertising on TV and everything, and it's all the girls have no fat on them. Of course, that's changing some, isn't it? You see a lot of commercials, especially for women's wear and stuff, and you've got plus sizes and women that are comfortable in their bodies the way they are, and I think that's terrific. I hope that we're going to see more of that as time goes on. But yes, society is a big part of it. And here's another comment from Jose. You want to read that, Nick?
I'll let you read it.
Right now, Pop, I have a lot going on in my life, and it's bringing me down because I know I screwed up big. I feel like horse manure, and I'm tired of feeling like horse manure. And I'm tired of beating myself every day. I want to feel peace again, and I want to be better, but it sounds like I can't get out of my own way. So, Jose, the first thing I want to say about your comment there is I want to remind you about self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you say you can't get out of your own way, guess what? You can't get out of your own way. If you're tired of beating yourself up every day, put down the whip. Nobody's asking you to beat yourself up. In fact, nobody wants you to do that. We all love you. We always have, and we always will. And no matter how big you screwed up, that's okay. You can't change it. It's in the past. All you can do is do your best to make the right choice from here on out. It's what Jesus said when approached by the prostitute who said, please forgive me, please forgive me. And he says, sister, just sin no more. We all make mistakes every single day. I could probably tell you about 10 or 20 of them I made today if I really put my thoughts towards it, but I don't like giving it that much energy. So I don't know what the sorry is for, unless it's the horse manure word, but that's okay. Jose, you are such a special young man, and I will be glad when you understand that about yourself. And you will. You'll get there. And I'll be happy to help you in any way I can. All right? You know how to reach me. And for those of you that want to reach me, let me give you, you can go to my website. Let me also give you my email address here. As soon as I learn how to type. So there's my email address. You can always email me. You can always DM me in Facebook. You can always call me if you want to call me. I can give you my number. Let me put in the spaces here. And there's my phone number. You can call me if you want to. All right. I won't even charge you. You just give me a call. I'll talk to you. All right. So that's what we're talking about tonight is self-forgiveness. I think that's a really great topic because, again, and I've mentioned this in other broadcasts about the fact that we can't forgive others if we can't forgive ourselves. So it starts with ourselves. The whole journey of life is self-discovery. In my path, we talk a lot about the fact that we all have that spark of the divine in us, that spark of God. And that spark gives us the potential of becoming far greater than we can even imagine. All we have to do is let go of all that mud and muck and rust and negativity and all that crap that we've layered on ourselves since we came onto this side, right? And the more we let go of that stuff, the more we shine up. You know, we talked about God's attributes, right? That God is love and God is peace and God is forgiving and God is compassionate and God is omnipotent and omnipresent. And all of the attributes that we can name that God is, we have all of those attributes within ourselves. It's just that we look at the negative. You know, it's like we can look at ourselves and say, well, like I said, I'm bald and I got to wear glasses and, you know, I got all this and that and the other. And we can focus on all that and we can chew on it like a dog with a bone, right? And we'll just chew it, gnaw on that thing forever. But what about the positive stuff? What about the fact that if you walk up to me, I'll make you smile, right? And I just love that. To me, it's one of my favorite things is not even saying a word, but knowing I'm making a difference in a person's life just by the way I approach them. How cool is that? So, Jose, you got a lot of good years ahead of you, my friend. And I really want to encourage you to be nice to yourself. One of my favorite sayings, I know I've told this story about a friend of mine who every time I would say, you know, the beatings will continue until your attitude improves, because she'd bitch about something, this or that or the other. And I'd say, well, you know, my old saying, I love sayings, and the beatings will continue until your attitude improves. And she would say, God, I hate that saying. I just hate that. Every time you say it, I just want to scream. And then one day I'm over at her house and she's got it on a plaque on her coffee table because she got it, right? And I don't know when you're going to get it. I don't know if it's today, if it's tomorrow, if it's next week, or whenever it is. But at some point, you're going to get it that the abuse is not from outside. The abuse is from inside. And we abuse ourselves by doing things that we know we don't want to do. And we just say, well, that's okay. You know, I think I told the story about when I was much younger and I was raised Catholic, and you live by the commandments. And I took a look at the list and I figured I'd nailed just about every one of them that I wasn't supposed to do. And I'm probably really screwed. So I might as well just go ahead and have a good time because I've already screwed the pooch. Right. And so it just made the beatings go on. Yeah, I know, right? But
did you really just say that on live?
Well, you know, hey. So just, you know, put down the whip. Be kind to yourself. Definition of insanity. Yeah, let's put that up there, Melly. Good point. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. How in the world do you expect to make a life that you're going to enjoy and love and be excited to wake up every day if all you've done is beat on yourself all day long? It can't happen. You can't create the kind of life you want if you're going in the wrong direction. If you keep going left when you want to be going right, you're never going to get to right, right?
Yep. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting, right? So if you want to, what is it you said here? I screwed up big time. I feel like shit, but I'm tired of feeling like shit, and I'm tired of beating myself every day. Good. I'm glad. That's the first step. I don't know if you've heard this story before, Jose. I've probably told every story. You guys have probably heard every story I've ever told, right?
But a few times.
A few hundred times. But it's the blue chair story. It's about when I was sitting in a chair with tears pouring down my face. And I'm feeling God more than I'd ever felt him up to that moment. And I'm thinking, what in the world was it I did that I thought was so bad that I had to keep punishing myself? What was it? And I had done some really terrible things, right? But at that moment, I realized that if God could forgive me, why can't I? And I have to believe that God is forgiving. Because if he's not, then we're all screwed, right? So it's my thinking that was wrong. It's your thinking that's wrong. It's not everybody else. We're all going through the same kind of journey together. And that's the whole purpose of this Facebook chat every Monday, is to kind of remind ourselves, and I hope you'll share it with your friends and get them to join us and getting to participate in the chat. It's really wonderful that you all have done that tonight. And it's so courageous and so brave and so open. And that's how we get everybody to recognize that they, that they're not alone, that those feelings of insecurity, the feelings of hopelessness and despair are things that we don't have to carry anymore. We can let go of those things, right? Yeah.
I have a great story that just happened not too long ago, but this has been like a story in the making for like 16 years, right? So I'm went in and I was with a group of women, and there's one woman that's usually pretty brash, or I think that's a word, right? Pretty harsh, right? Like she comes off like, if I'm wearing perfume, she'll go sit in the corner over there because perfume bothers her. So, like, and one time I was boohooing about something, like I always boohoo about something, right? I at that time, and I was in the bathroom fixing my face because I had boohooed, and she says, "Oh, honey, it only hurts in between surrenders." And I wanted to punch her in the face.
Yeah.
Don't you know what I'm going through? Don't you know who I am? Basically thinking I'm all ego, right?
Yeah.
And I got to see her. Well, I've seen her throughout the years, but I got to see her 2 weeks ago, and I said, "Do you know? I want to thank you." For one thing, she said something at a business meeting that we could correct something and blah blah blah. But I said, 16 years ago, you told me it only hurts between surrenders, and I wanted to punch you in the face. And she goes, "Oh, most people want to punch me when they see me." But it really hit home after I had a good heart-to-heart with it, like,
Nice.
oh, that is so true, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the beatings will continue until your attitude improves, right?
Yeah.
It only hurts in between surrenders,
Yeah.
Put the bat
And
down.
who do we think we are that we know better than God? Who do we think we are? That's called reversed ego. God made everything else perfect but me, because I'm so special. He screwed up big time just for me. How crazy is that? So you see, the reality is, like Melly says here, the definition of his insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Well, we're all a little insane. If you stop and think about it, you wouldn't think of being as abusive to anyone else in your life as you've been to yourself. How crazy is that? Right? How crazy is it to beat yourself up over and over and over? I could use another analogy, but I'll leave it alone.
Oh, no. If you have that reaction, you better leave it alone.
So, Melly, you said here, I love this chat.
Mm-hmm.
And for me and for everybody in our audience, both live and recorded, please explain what it is you love about this chat. That would be very helpful. It's one of the things I've learned is that when people make a comment, ask them about it. What does that mean? You get to learn so much more. The energy, says Kimberlyn. Nice. Yep. And what I love about the chat is, again, being able to be vulnerable, to talk about how you feel inside, like Jose being so vulnerable about what he's feeling inside.
And that's some honesty, and as well as, vulnerable.
I love the raw conversations. We can be completely, let me put this up here. We can be completely honest and not be judged. That's right. Exactly right. And there's an old saying, I love old sayings, right? If you realized how seldom people think of you, you wouldn't worry about what they think of you. So who's going to be judging us, and who gave them that role anyway? Right? To hell
we
with
aren't
them.
That powerful.
I think everybody loves me, and of course that's part of my delusion, right? Because not everybody loves me, and I get that. But I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I've got a pretty good average, and I like that. And let's see, Jose comments. Let's put this up here. All of us go through different but similar, so we can all connect. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of our weekly chat. It's the whole idea of the seminars we're going to be doing, where we'll teach people how to use the whispers in a way to maximize the benefit you get from them. And in that group setting where it's an intimate group of people, we can all open up more and kind of take a look at what those skeletons are inside us that we've been holding on to for so long. And like Garrett said, talking about dropping the rock, right? That's those things that we're holding on to and we're carrying around everywhere we go. And, it's kind of like when you lose 20 pounds and you go, my gosh, I feel a lot lighter. Well, that's the same thing with those emotional rocks that we've been holding on to for so long. So very nice comments tonight. I want to thank you all for being so open and honest and sharing. Not only do you benefit when you make comments like that in the chat, but you don't know who might be reading that a week or a month or a year from now who says, oh my God, that's me. And you could be helping somebody you don't even know today. It's one of the reasons I love telling stories. And I do that everywhere I go. And you never know who's going to be touched by something that you said. And I can tell you through the years, I've had a lot of feedback from people that said, you told me this and it changed my whole life. And I'd walk away going, I never said that.
That happens to me too.
Right?
Why did I say that? Well, I'm glad it helped you.
Yeah. And, and that takes me back to something else that I learned a long time ago, is that I don't know that what I'm saying is what you're hearing, or that what you're hearing is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so much of it is energy. When you're around someone that stands like this, does that make you feel comfortable? And they've got that judgment look like this. Try to enter me. See if you can get through my barricade here, right? Okay, you want to hold on to that? Go ahead. But when you've got that bright smile and you've got that, that twinkle in your eyes, it's just, people want that. They miss that.
Well, it's kind of like when they say, like, it's not what you say, but it's the way you made them feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A woman at a store that I go to, she and her husband are moving to Oregon, and it's a big move for them. And I said, so what percentage? I said, so what is it, like 60% excitement and 40% anxiety? She goes, no, it's about 80% anxiety. I said, oh, well, it's all just how you look at it. So why don't you just decide to go for the excitement and see what happens? Enjoy the journey. And she goes, it's my attitude, right? I said, yeah, it's your attitude. Just change your attitude. You're young. Now's the time to do those kinds of things, right? When you get older, you don't, I just want to sit in a chair and watch The Price is Right. A real grandparent kind of thing, right?
Is this still on the air?
I think so. I don't know for certain, but I think it is. Does anybody know? Is The Price of Right still on TV? Price is Right?
My grandparents used to watch it every day.
Yeah. There's like three, Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right. I don't know. There's a few shows like that the old folks tend to sit around and watch.
Well, everybody streams now.
Hey, Luke. Or watch the Dodgers. Yeah. They've been doing really well. Or watch the Dodgers. That's a better choice. You know, one
Angels.
of the
Angels.
The Angels.
Look at, he put watch the Dodgers with a vomit.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay. Let's see. Where are they in the standings, and where are the Angels?
That's all right.
Oh, okay.
It's an old people choice.
So anyway, I want to thank you all for being on the show tonight. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and a lot of heart stuff tonight. That just thrills me because I'm a heart kind of person, right? That's an old people choice. The Dodgers, Angels still suck. Well, and Kimberlyn, there's Kimberlyn's comment. Thank you for all the great words. You're all so very welcome. I hope that it makes your week start off with a positive note, which is what we're doing this for, is just to help everybody get going and say, all right, I can do this. All right. Yeah. Today, I'm not going to beat myself up. You know, it's like in this program I used to do, or I still do. They say, just don't drink today. Right. So how about for today, we don't beat ourselves up, and then see how that goes. And then maybe tomorrow, start the day off with, I'm not going to beat myself up today.
If that's too long, this hour.
Yeah. Or a minute.
Yeah.
I have a friend that has a mind that just runs all the time. And he struggles so hard with it. And I just love the guy. He's such a wonderful guy. And he would say, well, I have to quiet my mind. I have to live in today. I said, no, for you, it's I have to live in the moment, because a day is too long a time for him to try to deal with, right? So let's deal with right now. Is that your dog?
Yeah.
So,
say hi, Teddy. He's saying hello.
Yes, hi. So everybody, go have a wonderful week this week. Is that Emma? Yes, I think it is.
It was Teddy.
Okay. Have a wonderful week this week. I want to thank you all for your support and your kind words and your honesty and your vulnerability. And know that not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping everybody that ever watches this, which could be 2 or 3 people. Who knows? All right. I love you all.
Week.
Have a great week. Nicole, you are awesome. Thank you for your help tonight. And we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.